So we've been asked to find the distance between 2 points, 3, 5 and -2, 1. And the distance formula is always easy for me to remember. It's the change in x squared plus the change in y squared. And your textbook might tell you something like, well, change in x is x2 minus x1, and change in y is y2 minus y1. And that's fine. This is just easier for me to remember. And so we plug these numbers into this formula. Well, what is the change in x? Well, if I go from 3 to -2, how far did I walk on the number line? I walked 3 steps and then 2 more steps in the negative. So I walked a total of 5 steps in the negative. Change in y, I went from 5 to 1. Okay, so I went from 5 to 1. How many steps on the number line would that take? It would take 4 steps on the number line. And so now the answer to that is, what is 5 squared? Well, that's 25, and 4 squared is 16. And 25 plus 16 makes 41. So D equals the square root of 41. And if someone says to you, well, I don't want an exact answer, I want an approximate answer, you would type this into your calculator and round it appropriately, and you would get something along the lines of 6.043 if you're asked for an approximate answer. Our second question here says find the midpoint of the line above. And the easiest way for me to remember midpoint, again, midpoint is going to be, very simply, x2 minus x1 divided by 2. Okay? X2 plus x1 divided by 2, comma, y2 plus y1 over 2. And again, what we're looking for is if you add these up and divide by 2, that should tell you where the middle is. Well, if I go back up to my original, I can call this x1, y1, x2, y2. So x1 is 3, x2 is -2. All right, so I have 3 plus -2 divided by 2. And I have 5 plus 1 divided by 2. Well, 3 plus -2 is 1, and 1 divided by 2 is 1/2. And 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And to me, this answer is very intuitive when I look at this problem, because I ask myself, well, this has to be halfway between. Well, if you drew a number line, what is halfway between 3 and -2 on the number line? And the answer would be +1/2. What is halfway between 5 and 1 on a number line? And the answer would be 3. So I know that answer is right. It's very intuitive for me. If you have any questions about finding distance between points or the midpoint of a line, please let me know.